create a basic bot. Click on create bot flow, enter a bot name, click on this plus icon to define a trigger. Select the appropriate channel, select the condition. If you have selected a keyword based trigger, click on save. Then click on this icon. You'll see the option to basically add another node in the bot flow. We have various type of options in the bot. So the most commonly used are send message or ask a question. In case of send message, the bot will basically send the message and move to the next block. It won't wait for a reply from the user. Now, if you want to add the user's WhatsApp name by default, you can simply select the option of name here. Click on save message. Now in the next step, I want to give user an option. So these options can be buttons or list. You simply click on ask a question block, go to interactive message and then select, enter a text. So you can have up to 3 buttons. Now whenever you have any kind of question block, you can save the reply to a custom field. So here the answer type should be single reply answer, and then you can save it to any of the custom fields that you have created earlier. For now I am simply selecting the category custom field. Now if the user is not pressing any of these 3 buttons, you can give a validation error. Kindly select only the above buttons or something of this sort, and by default for each question block the system would wait for 1 hour. And if you want to increase the waiting time, you can go up to 100 hours or 500 hours, something like this, and click on save question. Now if you have a button or list type message, you can simply have separate nodes for each. Depending upon the user reply, the bot would basically move forward. Now for example, if someone is clicking on contact sales team, I want to assign this chat to an agent, so simply click on assign to agent. All of your team members would be visible here. Select anyone and then click on save agent. Now in case someone is clicking on contact support team, I want to ask few more questions to the user. For example, are you a free or paid user? And then so from here you can basically add list option as well as button option. So as I have already added button earlier, let me select list. You can see as soon as I selected list, all the image, video, document headers have disappeared, because WhatsApp doesn't allow image in a list message, but you can have a button message with the image. Please note, body is always mandatory. Then click on list option. And then what I want to do is, I want to do some sort of mistake here to show you how WhatsApp, or how we can see the error. Okay, so I have not entered the section titles here, neither the button text. And then let us try to save this question block, and then I'll simply click on save workflow. And then I'll basically enable this. If you don't enable this, the workflow won't work. So again, to the aspect of basic bot, so depending upon your use case, you can keep adding nodes ahead. sorry, you can keep adding nodes ahead, and it can be send messages, ask a question. In case of send messages, you can send text, image, video, document, audio, location, contact, or template messages. And in case of ask a question block, you can, so this is how you want to ask the question, not what type of reply you expect from the user. So you can send an image and then ask a question to the user. So you can send text, image, video, document, audio, location, or contact message while you're asking a question. And we also have an address message option. So you can also ask address from user as well as ask via buttons or lists. So if you want to ask, if you want the user to, reply to you only with an image, so here when you send a question block, for example, kindly send your photo, you can validate the answer by this option, expected answer type validation. Now this will basically validate the user's reply. So you're asking for a photo and you don't want user to send any image or any video, so you can select the option as expected answer type validation image. And if the user is sending any text message, even if you have asked a photograph, then the bot can reply, kindly send an image. And the validation attempts, it can be up to 4 or 5 attempts. You can select from the drop down. And then again, as it is a question block, you have the option to wait for certain minutes or certain hours before WhatsApp or the bot would go to the next node. By default, the bot will basically wait for 1 hour. Now a lot of times what will happen is your user has clicked on, say for example, see demo, and then the message was sent and then the photo was requested from the user. Now after this, by default the bot has ended, but you want that your user should also be able to go back and click on any of these two options. By default, as soon as the last node completes, the user leaves the bot flow in the system. So if you want that user should be able to continue the remaining buttons as well, you simply add a node in the name of stay in session. So the user will still be in the same bot flow session, and if he or she is selecting any of the other buttons from the earlier message, even that would work. The same goes for the assign to an agent. Now here the chat is already assigned to an agent, but you also want to ask more questions even after assigning the chat to an agent. So even that is possible. So you can ask more questions like, what is your website? So this can be helpful for the sales team member to take a look, some certain validation questions can be asked and automatically stored in the custom fields by the option of save response to. And your sales agent would also be able to see all the chat history that has happened between the user and your bot, and all the questions that the user is answering would also be visible to the sales agent or to the team member. So this can be helpful, so you can have more questions asked, and then possibly in the last step you can have the option of stay in session. So this is how you can create a basic bot flow in our platform. Remember, you need to always click on save workflow or your edits would be lost. And if you have enabled the workflow once, it is absolutely fine, but if not, you also need to enable the workflow. Thank you.